let's talk about the keg itself. This is we've had full on debates in the Facebook group, not in a long time, but once upon a time it was a little bit rowdier in the Facebook group, and there was a debate I remember very vividly from someone who's like, I work for a brewer. I have my own mobile bar, and we just hook up our kegs to the jockey box, and that's it. We do nothing to keep the keg cold. We don't need to. And obviously, we've already talked about why the science of that is actually not great. But let's say, and we have someone in the comment section, they work in Palm Springs, and it's hot. And so the jockey box is going to obviously make sure they're pouring cold. But what have you guys seen is good, solid, and I've seen a whole lot of ways, but what are some good, solid ways to keep the keg itself cold?
We offered these insulated keg jackets. I mean, it's kind of just like a giant soft cooler that's shaped like a keg. We have three sizes: one for a half barrel, one for a quarter and sixth barrel, and then one for our 2-gallon kegs. Because we also sell kegs with threaded spears. So sorry to go off topic a little bit, but it's nice for if you're doing cocktails rather than using a corny keg, which is nice. I used to be a home brewer, and they are nice. I like the flip top aspect of them, but those little ball lock fittings, they fail, especially the gas ones, and you end up losing CO2. With the threaded spear kegs, they're Sankey, so you don't have to change your setup at all, which is awesome, and they're just a lot more durable.
Yeah.
Chris, can you pull those up for us? I don't think I've ever seen one because a Sankey keg in and of itself would require special equipment to fill, correct?
Not Yes, with a regular, yeah, there's a little snap ring in there in a commercial Sankey keg, and that's where the threaded spear.
Yeah. So to be clear, just so we're not hurting anybody here, the normal Sankey kegs come with a ring on the inside of them that hold the spear in. Those are not designed to be opened by
Yes, do not open those
by just a human being, right? They're designed for machinery to open and pull the spears out, because we've seen those rings fail, and the amount of pressure that kegs are under, like that, beer goes everywhere and they're dangerous. So, but they do have threaded speared kegs that we sell, and I'll show you. Let's see. So this is probably the best picture I have at the moment, but the top of the kegs here where the Sankey decoupler fits. Going back to, so this is a good setup for I don't remember what festival this was at, but going back to the chilled part of kegs, right? Trash cans are easy. Like, it's hard for us to sell this kind of stuff on our website because it's bulky, and why would you want to ship this, right? You can get these kind of things from Home Depot for relatively cheap. So this is a really easy way to keep your kegs cold, especially if you're going to be in an event for a long time. This is kind of overkill, I think. You don't really necessarily have to keep all of your kegs completely covered.
And it's ugly.
You can remember that if you take a look at this picture, CO2 is forced down and on top of. You can't see what I'm pointing at, I don't think. Let me do this. Now you can see my cursor. Sorry. CO2 is pushing down on the liquid that's inside the keg, and what happens is the liquid goes up through the middle into that spear and then out. So technically, the bottom part of the keg is being pulled first. So as long as that bottom part of the keg has got some sort of ice on it, is that's the minimum, right? So if you've got some sort of short tub or some sort of bin down here that your kegs sit in, it's always being pulled from the bottom. So it's not necessary that you have to put ice all over the top or the sides of the keg. But for the threaded part of it, so this spear would come out with a tool that we have, so you can pull this spear out and fill it with whatever beverage you want, whether it's a cocktail, or just soda, your own soda, or we do wine occasionally, and we'll get a bunch of white wine and carbonate it, so it comes out as champagne, or all kinds of stuff that you could do. Whatever you can pour from CO2, you can put in there.
And if you're doing a 4 to 6 hour event, the keg soft coolers that we sell are perfect. So if you put your keg in that soft cooler right before your event, it's never going to warm up to affect the beer while you're there. I mean, it'll keep that beer below 50 degrees for 24 hours, no problem, even without ice. And the other thing is, the colder the beverage, the faster it absorbs CO2. So when you're putting that 30 psi on there, you don't necessarily want your keg to stay ice cold for too long, right?
Yeah.
But again, when you're at an event, the goal is to move through all your product anyway, right? So, and that's I think that's why that's kind of overlooked in the beer festival world too, because the people are like, well, we're here for 4 hours, let's just move through our beer. We don't have to worry about it. So, but yeah, we definitely do recommend keeping the kegs cold if you can.